What's up, all my movie love maniacs? This your boy Bankful B of The Last of the Factor, and this is the weekly movie rundown, the series where I run down everything I watched throughout the week. And for the first week of September, I finally got around to watching Kinds of Kindness, which was released digitally and then on Hulu in the next couple of days after that. And then I finally got around to seeing what all the fuss was about with The Deliverance. Let's review. Now, I do remember this movie coming out in June, and it was a movie that I kind of did want to see, or at the very least was just a little bit curious about, because I did watch director Yargo Lathimos's previous film, Poor Things, which won a lot of awards, including Emma Stone, and seeing that she was in this movie. So I was like, okay, let me see what this director does next. But of course, it came out at a time where there was just like movie after movie coming down and didn't get a chance to go see it, so it kind of flew under my radar. But I finally got a chance to watch it, and it's honestly a movie that I feel the same way about his last film, Poor Things. It's a movie that I'm glad I watched, but probably not going to watch again after that. That being said, I do admire the anthology aspect of this movie. I am a sucker for this type of storytelling. There's a reason Pulp Fiction is one of my favorite movies of all time. But this movie is essentially three stories. The first story I liked for the most part. The second story, I liked the journey leading up to it, but the destination I wasn't really a big fan of. And the third story I felt was the weakest of the three stories. But that being said, I did like the cast from Emma Stone, Jesse Plemons, who put on great performances in all three, in my opinion. Emma Stone, she continues to prove why she is a two-time Oscar-winning actress. Let's see. Oh yeah, Willem Dafoe. I thought he was good in the film. Margaret Qualley. Outside of nepotism, she's continuing to prove why she's a good upcoming actress. Hung Chow. I'm glad to see that she's still getting work, and I know I'm gonna butcher his name, but Homeboy from Jurassic World Dominion and Elemento. I'm definitely glad to see him still getting work. I do admire the filmmaking that is in this film, and like I said, I do admire the storytelling that is within this film. But ultimately, it's going to be up to you whether or not you dig this film or not, because this movie is either going to be your cup of tea or it's just not going to be your cup of tea. But like I said, I'm glad I watched it, but don't feel the need to watch it again. And like I said, admire the filmmaking. It's just some of the story aspects within this anthology series didn't quite sit well with me sometimes. And that's why I ultimately gave it the shoulder shrug emoji. I'm just kind of in the middle with it. And now The Deliverance, which is Lee Daniels' latest film and was released on Netflix and has been getting a lot of attention, both for good and bad reasons. But I will just say right off the bat, I really was kind of digging this film up until the last act. I felt like all the religious themes within this film and the basically the whole concept within the film, which is you have this struggling mother and her kids are getting physically and mentally abused and everybody's suspecting it's her, but then weird shit starts happening and then she says like it may be ghost or whatever, and I'll get more into that in a little bit. But the point is, I was digging some of that until the last act really started to feel like The Exorcist or any other typical exorcism movie that we've seen up until that far. It felt like two different movies that didn't quite mesh well with each other. And even some of the special effects within the exorcism part of the movie just didn't quite look right. That being said, the cast of this movie does make the movie for me. Andra Day, she did an excellent job within this movie, and I'm glad to see her still getting work because I thought she was excellent in the United States versus Billie Holiday, but I do need her to play a role where she's not a troubled person. I'm glad to see Monique still getting work, and even in this movie, she proves why she is an Oscar-winning actress. And one of the things I love about her as a comedic actress is that she has that sharp wit to her, and she brings that to that within this performance. Aljanae Ellis Taylor, I'd say she's probably the weakest within this movie as far as acting goes, but and plus they really didn't go anywhere with her action. She was just there to be a plot device to get the character from point A to point B, but she was fine for what she was given within the movie. But of course, the real MVP of this movie is Glenn Close, who plays Alberta, Andra Day's character's mother. She is without a doubt the standout within this movie. The fact that Glenn Close even took this role is just mind blowing in itself. But Glenn Close she is an actress that will give 110% into any performance she give. I mean, when she played Cruella de Vil in 101 Dalmatians, that movie, that performance alone will always have a place in my art and will live rent free in my head. And Glenn Close, God bless you, lady. Even if Lee Daniels have you saying ridiculous lines like, I can smell your nappy. But the reason I ultimately give this the shoulder shrug emoji is just the whole based on the true story aspect on it. I mean, you always got to take stories like this with a grain of salt. I mean, somebody gets possessed and then they have to perform an exorcism. Hey, that's on you whether or not you believe that or not. But I am calling bullshit on the fact of kids getting abused because their mother is possessed. All right, to me, that's just really irresponsible right there. But like I said, that's up to you to decide, but that's just how I feel. Ultimately, I don't hate this movie. Well, I don't even dislike the movie, but at the same time, I can't say that I quite liked it. But it is a movie that I'm not mad that I watched, just for performances alone. And that's why I give the Deliverance the shoulder shrug emoji. Thank y'all so much for watching. Be on the lookout for my review of Beetlejuice, Season 3 of Bel Air, and hopefully I will have my review of The Lion King 2, Simba's Pride done by this week. But have you seen these movies? If you have, let me know what you think of them in the comment section below. This is your boy Bankful B of The Last of the Factor. Stay safe, wash your hands, peace.